Well, hi everybody from Last Bass Outpost and Talk Bass. Well, just shut that all the way off. Wanted to talk to you today about, well, a new bass for me. It's a really old bass. This is a 1964 Gibson Thunderbird II that I got recently. Gotta say, this is just a spectacular instrument. I think Gibson was way ahead of their time in making this bass. Like some of their instruments, it's beautifully flawed, but at the same time, you just gotta love it because it plays like a dream. This neck on this bass is just fantastic, even with the requisite broken headstock that this one has. This bass is just spectacular. It's resonant. It sounds really good played with a pick. Just amazing. Gibson just made this bass just plays like a dream. It's just fantastic. I've got a lot of other Thunderbirds, but none of them play quite like this one does. Since I've gotten this bass, gotta tell you, I've barely touched the other ones. I think they're all getting jealous. But anyway, I really do think Gibson was way ahead of their time with this. This is as we now know, of course, sort of their typical deal with Thunderbirds. It was a multi-laminate construction neck through bass, where we've got 9-ply combination of walnut and mahogany layers going all the way up the neck through the body like this, and then the wings are mahogany glued on like that. So the body is actually quite light. This is much lighter than some of my other Thunderbirds, much lighter than say my Gibson, my 76s and my 77, or even some of the newer ones. Maybe it's because the wood's old and dried out, I'm not sure, but boy, it barely feels like it's 8 pounds. So it's pretty neat. This particular example, again, broken headstock on it, but otherwise it's actually pretty nice example. It has its bridge cover, it has its mute system, although there's no felt on that. The bridge actually is a 2-point, and while these often don't intonate correctly, this one actually happens to intonate very nicely, which is kind of a surprise. I was thinking I might have to pick up an aftermarket one from my buddy Scott Dason. But right now, it looks like this one's okay. So anyway, bridge cover, 2-point bridge, which intonates your tailpiece here like this. Single pickup on this one. In '64, they made a total of 501 Thunderbird IIs, and another 215 in 1965, and 2 in 1963. So relatively rare bass. Kind of really excited just to have it even as part of my collection. Again, this particular example, it's hard to see here, but it's very heavily checked, the finish on this. It's got your typical dings on it, all that. Love the shape of this. It's a little different than the 70s version here. It's humped up quite a bit more here. The body is slightly different than a 70s version. This one, tailpiece the tail pin is back here, so it's offset to the top of the body. It balances actually really well. This one has a total of 3 pins in it, strap pins in it. I prefer the one at the heel. Some folks like it there. For me, these basses balance really well, so don't have a problem with it at all. Actually, some people kind of like to bitch about stuff, but that's not something for me to bitch about. This bass hangs on me really nice. I gotta say, it's just it's been a pleasure so far. I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Scott again. He's High Watt Scott on YouTube. The guy knows everything about Thunderbirds, and he lined me up with a really nice reproduction pick guard for this bass, because the one that was on it when I bought it had broken here and up here. It was still on the bass, and I still have it. It had aged nicely, but it really didn't look good. And so this one, I got to tell you, it fits on it just perfectly. Also managed to get a thumb rest on this thing. It's just coolness, I got to say. Just vintage coolness on this bass. So overall, I gotta say, this one, kind of a road warrior, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably a solid 7.5 in terms of its condition with the broken headstock. And you can see how the neck is finished, or is just clear finish, and then up here to hide the neck repair, it's been actually shot black. So again, that's usually a pretty telltale sign that something's been broken, but you can easily tell because there's a visible split in it too. So it doesn't matter. The bass just sounds fantastic. Depending on where you put your fingers, so really a wonderful bass. Do I have a pick around here someplace? Yes, I do. Has an old set of round wounds on it. They're nickel. I don't know what brand. I haven't changed it since I got it. Just kind of liking the sound that they have. They break up pretty nice. It's just a treasure. Anyway, just wanted to briefly share this with you guys. It's just a fabulous bass. I feel privileged to get to own it. It's really a piece of, I think, bass guitar making history and definitely rock and roll history. So we'll catch up with you again sometime soon. Take care. Bye now.